there ain't no reconciliation. There ain't no fixing Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane issues. Pooh Shiesty, once off the label, like again, by force, by coercion, or Gucci Mane could just do it an easy way. But Gucci is thinking he could reconcile. Pooh Shiesty is at a point where he can't reconcile, according to her.
Pooh Shiesty is in serious trouble after Gucci Mane allegedly sent his top shooters to get his stolen respect back in blood. What was supposed to be a simple homecoming celebration quickly spiraled into one of the messiest fallouts hip-hop we've seen in years. Now, Gucci Mane is demanding his respect by any means necessary. Let's break down how this situation took a dark turn and why people in the streets are saying this isn't the same Gucci Mane they once knew. Pooh Shiesty is a rapper out of Memphis, Tennessee, who blew up with a hit Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk, born Luntrell Donnell Williams Jr. He came up in the trenches of Memphis, a city where you either get money or get closer to God. Raised in South Memphis, Pooh Shiesty grew up in an environment where loyalty meant everything, and disrespect could cost you your life. His family had deep ties to the streets, and he learned early on that respect isn't handed out, it's earned. While he was coming up, Memphis was dealing with non-stop beef between different sets, with young dudes constantly trying to make a name for themselves. Pooh Shiesty's cousin, Big Scare, was right there with him. They were close like brothers, always watching each other's backs in those dangerous streets. The Memphis rap scene was different from anywhere else. It was raw, unfiltered, and deadly serious. Pooh absorbed all of that energy and poured it into his music, but he never forgot where he came from or the street code he was raised on. He understood that in Memphis your word is everything and breaking that bond can have fatal consequences. At the same time, Gucci Mane was building his empire out of Atlanta, turning 1017 into one of the most respected labels in the South. He became known for spotting raw talent and turning artists into stars. But Gucci also had a reputation for being ruthless when he felt disrespected. Just as Pooh Shiesty's career was taking off, tragedy struck his family. His cousin Big Scare, who was also signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 label, passed away unexpectedly. This wasn't just a regular loss. It hit deep, and the aftermath would only make things more complicated. Big Scare was family, and in Memphis, family is everything. From Pooh Shiesty's perspective, when someone from your bloodline passes away, you're supposed to show up and show out for the funeral. That's where everything started getting messy, according to Big Scar's family. When they reached out to Gucci Mane for help with funeral expenses, the response wasn't what they expected. They claimed Gucci Mane only sent $10,000 for flowers and said he couldn't help pay for the funeral because his wife's birthday was coming up. Coming from a millionaire rapper, that didn't sit right with the family at all. To them, it felt like a straight slap in the face. Big Scar's people took the situation to social media and aired Gucci Mane out completely. They said he blocked their calls when they asked for help and accused him of not being real. Emotions were high, with family members saying things like, "10,000 for flowers is nothing. My brother was worth way more than that." This whole situation left a bad taste in Pooh Shiesty's mouth. That was his blood, and he felt like Gucci Mane disrespected his family when they needed support the most. In Memphis culture, when someone passes away, the whole community is supposed to come together. For Gucci Mane to act like he couldn't afford a proper funeral for one of his own artists was seen as pure disrespect. Around the same time, Gucci Mane was also getting into it with Big 30 in comment sections, throwing shots and moving like he was untouchable. All of this behavior started piling up, and Pooh Shiesty was taking mental notes. To him, it looked like a pattern of Gucci Mane not showing proper respect to Memphis artists, and that didn't sit right at all. This wasn't just about money, it was about principle. When you sign artists to your label, they become family, and you're supposed to treat them that way. Pooh Shiesty felt like Gucci Mane was treating Memphis artists as expendable, and that kind of energy always comes back around. Despite all the drama surrounding Big Scar's funeral, when Pooh Shiesty came home from his legal troubles, Gucci Mane was one of the first people to publicly show him love. On the surface, it looked like everything was good. Gucci posted about Pooh's return, and fans thought the 1017 camp was about to drop some fire collaborations. But behind the scenes, things weren't as cool as they seemed. Pooh Shiesty wasn't rocking with Gucci Mane the way he used to. The whole Big Scare situation had permanently changed how he viewed his relationship with 1017 while he was locked up. Pooh Shiesty had plenty of time to sit back and really think about everything that went down, and he came home with a completely different mindset about the music business during that time away. He realized something important. He was already a millionaire. He had his own money, his own connections, and a loyal fan base that would follow him anywhere. That led to one big question: what could Gucci Mane really do for him that he couldn't do for himself? From there, Pooh Shiesty started looking at the business side differently. Instead of splitting his earnings with a label he felt didn't respect him or his family, he began thinking about taking his full percent. He had already proven he could make hits. The streets were behind him heavy, and he didn't feel like he needed anyone holding his hand anymore. So when Gucci Mane reached out about re-signing or working on new projects, Pooh Shiesty wasn't jumping at the opportunity like before. He was moving differently, more calculated, and Gucci could feel the shift in energy right away. The streets were talking too, saying Pooh Shiesty had outgrown 1017 and didn't really need them anymore. Other labels started reaching out, offering better deals and, more importantly, more respect. CMG showed strong interest, which made sense since they understood Memphis culture better. On top of that, Pooh Shiesty was hearing from his circle that Gucci Mane had been talking slick about Memphis artists in general, acting like they should be grateful just to be signed to 1017. That type of arrogance didn't sit right with someone who came from the trenches and earned everything he had in just a few months. Pooh Shiesty went from being a loyal 1017 artist to questioning everything about his relationship with the label. He had reached a point where he could call his own shots, and that independence felt like a threat to Gucci Mane's control. But just as Pooh Shiesty was enjoying his freedom and planning his next moves, things came to a head. On a day nobody expected, he and Gucci Mane met up in the studio to talk business. What was supposed to be a simple conversation about their future working relationship quickly turned intense and personal. According to sources close to the situation, Gucci Mane tried to convince Pooh Shiesty to stay with 1017, likely offering better terms and more money. But Pooh Shiesty wasn't hearing it. He had already made up his mind about going independent, and no matter what was offered, he wasn't backing down. The conversation really started to heat up when Gucci Mane began talking about loyalty and reminding Pooh Shiesty that he was the one who put him on. He was clearly expecting gratitude and compliance, the same way other artists had fallen in line before. But Pooh Shiesty wasn't having it. He fired back, bringing up the big scare situation and accusing Gucci Mane of disrespecting his family during their time of grief. That's when things shifted from verbal to physical fast. The argument escalated even more when Pooh Shiesty started saying Gucci Mane wasn't the same person he used to be, that he had gone soft and no longer respected the culture that made him who he was. The tension in the room was heavy, and everyone could feel something was about to pop off. Gucci Mane's security was present, but they were outnumbered by Pooh Shiesty's crew, who had come with him to the meeting. Before anyone could step in and de-escalate the situation, Pooh Shiesty and his people made a move that shocked everyone. They robbed Gucci Mane right there in the studio, taking his wedding ring and his expensive watch while his own security stood by, unable to stop it. This wasn't just about jewelry. Taking a man's wedding ring is personal. That ring represents his wife, his commitment, and his respect. When you take that, you're sending a message that goes far beyond money. You're saying this person isn't untouchable, that which can be violated just like anyone else. The whole thing happened so fast that even Gucci Mane's security couldn't react in time. When you're outnumbered and caught off guard in a tight space, sometimes the only option is to walk away with your life. Pooh Shiesty never denied what happened, and his reasoning was simple. Gucci Mane had it coming. From Pooh Shiesty's point of view, the disrespect started with big scare. Gucci Mane crossed the line first, and this was just settling the score in the only language he felt Gucci would understand. On top of that, Gucci Mane now had to deal with the embarrassment of being robbed by his own artist, right in front of witnesses who were guaranteed to talk. The streets started buzzing immediately. The story spread like wildfire across social media and through the hip-hop world. And unfortunately for Gucci Mane, this incident exposed something fans had been saying for a while. This wasn't the same Gucci Mane from back in the day. The old Gucci would have handled this situation very differently. The old Gucci would have moved on Pooh Shiesty immediately. No questions asked, no hesitation. That's how the old Gucci Mane would have handled it. But this version of Gucci, married, reformed, business-minded, one was moving differently. Instead of reacting instantly like he did back in the day, he was taking his time and calculating his next move. That had the streets questioning whether he'd gone soft or lost his edge. People were talking heavy, saying the old Gucci would have never let something like this slide. They said the old Gucci would have had shooters at Pooh Shiesty's door that same night, ready to handle it the traditional way. But according to sources close to the situation, Gucci Mane was thinking smarter, not faster. Word started spreading on social media that he had already put the call out to his top shooters, but he wanted everything handled clean and the right way. Right after the incident, people from Gucci's camp said he was more upset about the disrespect than the actual items that were taken. Getting robbed in your own studio, in front of your own people, is the ultimate violation. The wedding ring made it even more personal. That involved his wife, and once family gets pulled into street business, there's no going back. Gucci Mane was reportedly telling people that Pooh Shiesty had made it personal and now it had to be handled as such. Social media went crazy. Some people sided with Pooh Shiesty, saying he was standing up for his family after the big scare situation. Others said he made a huge mistake robbing someone with Gucci Mane's. How Gucci Mane responded became a real test of his street reputation. Even though he'd evolved as a person and businessman, the streets still expected him to respond the old school way. Losing the ring and the watch wasn't about money, it was about respect, reputation, and maintaining his position. Letting it slide would have sent a message that Gucci Mane could be touched. And that's not a precedent any street legend wants to set. What made everything even more complicated was that Pooh Shiesty did have real grievance. The way Big Scar's funeral was handled genuinely hurt his family, and from their perspective, this was payback. But the streets have a code. You don't rob your former boss in his own studio and expect zero consequences. That line was crossed, and there was no uncrossing it. Both sides were now locked into a situation that could only end one of a few ways. The real tragedy is that all of this could have been avoided with better communication from the start. If Gucci Mane had handled the Big Scare situation with more care and respect, none of this would have happened. How it ends, nobody really knows. It could go legal, it could go streets, or maybe somehow it ends with a sit-down. But one thing is certain, this beef has permanently changed the relationship between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty. Some people in the industry tried to step in and mediate, knowing both sides had too much to lose if things went any further. But when respect is on the line, family gets involved. Finding common ground becomes almost impossible. Now the streets are watching closely to see how this plays out. Whatever happens next will shape how both artists are remembered in hip-hop history. Will Gucci Mane show that he still has that old energy, or will he choose to handle the situation strictly through business and legal channels? At the end of the day, both men have families, visitations, and legacies to protect. Hopefully, cooler heads prevail and this situation gets resolved without anyone getting seriously hurt. But history has shown that when respect is tested in hip-hop, anything can happen. This situation proves that even in 2026, the streets still operate by rules that can't be ignored. And when business gets mixed with personal grievances, the consequences can turn dangerous, fast affecting everyone involved.